After a long time, I am back. It is I, the IWC Savior of the masses, to claim and propose the souls of all the butthurt IWC souls around the IWC universe. It is the IWC Savior, and I have returned. Welcome to this very special edition of the review of Payback and the Raw after Payback. As I feel very, very excited. This is the first time I've done this in such a long time. It feels great to be back. Also known as the IWC Savior is here on the 867-537-9858 channel. First off, I want to say, it feels good to be back. As Payback took place here in the residing hometown, originally from Chicago, Illinois. Taking place at Payback, looking through at some of the stuff that happened and seeing some of the highlights and all that. I'm gonna take a look at some of the events that happened for Payback, and it was rather interesting knowing that the Chicago crowd was there, and no surprise they were chanting CM Punk, which really doesn't surprise me as a Chicago myself. I will say though that it really doesn't surprise me. Really. And I just don't know how to put it. These guys will still chant CM Punk, whether you like it or not, as an IWC Universe guy. The only way they'll stop chanting CM Punk is when he gets there. And it's not going to be as annoying. And it's hard to admit that, but it really is true, though. It just really tells you something right there. So we start with the WWE kickoff event, which was Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Now, the match that kind of itself for a pre-show that happened, it is okay. But why they didn't have Baron Corbin win it really surprised me. I mean, he was a rookie. This is his first pay-per-view event. And you probably would have him win over Dolph Ziggler, but I have a guarantee this is going to be a feud where it's going to be a three-match deal. So it's going to happen. The next one, which is Extreme Rules, it's probably going to be another pre-show thing. And then it's going to happen the next one after. So really, it will not surprise me that this is happening. Really. So, other than that, the star was kind of decent. I want to say it was like a 2-star deal. I mean, nothing too fancy. Kind of wish that they actually gave Baron the victory. So, but whatever, though. Shenanigans happened. Then we had the United States Championship match featuring Kalisto, the champion, and Ryback. Now, this is interesting. Kalisto, one of the guys from the tag team with Sin Cara, the Lucha Dragons. Sin Cara hurt, bummer. But Kalisto, well, he's not bad as a champion, but there could be a little bit better, honestly. I mean, I like Kalisto. Kalisto's a hell of a guy. Knows how to do some high flyers. I literally think he's like the luchador of Jeff Hardy. Without the extreme, stunts and all. I think he is. In my opinion. But, honestly, him going against Ryback and then defeating Ryback, that just kind of surprised me. But then again, there's rumors saying that Ryback is probably leaving the WWE, which is really interesting. And if this is the last time we see Ryback, then that's a shame because I've actually enjoyed him. He actually debuted on my birthday, ironically enough, on April 6th. That's the shame of it, so I'll be disappointed, but kind of odd. It ended in Chicago, too, the hometown of Punk, and Punk's really, had its issues with Ryback, so pure irony if this really does end up being that issue. Other than that, nothing too special. Star and a half. It was an okay match. Then you got the tag team match for the number one contenders tournament final, which was sponsored by Bootios. Long live Bootios. That was amazing. Now with that one, there was a big event. That was with Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy versus the Vaudevillains, and it ended in a no contest. Now, the Vaudevillains, ever since they jumped to WWE, people have said it's been stale. Something really hasn't popped in for them. Now, remember when they were in NXT and they were shit? People enjoyed what they were doing. I couldn't agree more. I think they were awesome in NXT. But I feel like as soon as they jumped ship to WWE, they kind of were treated like the Ascension. Just no one really gave a shit about them, and it's sad. Because I actually like these guys. These guys are pretty good. And Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, these guys, I'm telling you hands down, these guys are flat out awesome. Their catchphrases, the WWE Universe has just popped instantly, and these guys are major, major stars. Although the bad news is that Enzo Amore did get hurt in the match, and as you've seen from the photos before, he was okay, but he'll be taking some time off. So yeah, it's good. I'm sorry about that for the yawn, but yeah, it's gonna stick really bad there. So other than that, New Day made an appearance and all that. Then I think came the best match out of all, hands down. These two have been putting on matches like unbelievable. And, Allstate Arena just was exploding throughout the match because these two, they nailed their matches in NXT. And then, wouldn't you believe it, they do it in Payback in a pay-per-view, and these guys could not disappoint. These guys flat out kicked ass. Unbelievable match. This had to be at least 4.5 stars. You know what? Fuck it. Make it 5 stars. That was awesome. That was an awesome, awesome match. That was the match of the event right there. You know what? Have those guys fight. Who cares? That just tells you something right there. Oh man, just long live those two. Those guys are just awesome. Then they had the Ambrose versus Jericho match, and once again, you'd think Jericho probably would sneak in the victory. Dean Ambrose jobbing like crazy. Nope, Dean Ambrose pulled a surprise one, and he managed to beat Chris Jericho. It's a back and forth match. It's not bad. 2.5, 3-star match. Both guys very talented, very entertaining guys. And what's funny too is that people love Jericho. And yet, excuse me. I'm sorry for all this yawning. Jeez, my voice not getting into me well. But man, I'll tell you something. Jericho's really using the heel very, very well. Don't underestimate Jericho's heel tactics. Don't ever. I'll tell you what, Dean Ambrose just always knows how to just be that guy, and I've been impressed with his work. He's been the guy that ever since, the Shield broken up, Dean Ambrose has done well, Seth Rollins has done well, Roman Reigns was doing well at one point, and then just down the toilet. So I feel bad for Roman, seriously, I do. But you never know. There's also rumors been saying that there's supposed to be a possible reunion with the Shield. I don't blame him. Then you got an interesting one here. Okay, we got 3 main interesting stories that really, I don't know what to say. So we got the women's championship match, not the Divas, the women's now. With Charlotte the champion and Natalya. Now both had their fathers, Ric Flair, Natalya had her uncle Bret Hart there. Now, I don't know what to say. This was ridiculous. And then eventually they did a Chicago screw job. Really? Oh, come on. This is just unnecessary. Although the cool part of that match was seeing Charlotte and Ric Flair getting sharpshooters from Bret Hart and Natalya. That's pretty cool. I mean, that was pretty interesting. Seeing Bret Hart do it. That's just like nostalgia right there. That's like 20, 30 years in the making right there. That tells you something. So that was cool to see. Although I just don't understand why Charlotte had Rick with her. I get it. Charlotte's a heel, but come on, at least have a time or two off with him. Please, just stop with this dirty work. Whatever. Other than that, it was okay. Nothing special. And please, guys, don't do that ever again. Then Mr. McMahon decides who gets to control Raw, Shane or Stephanie. Well, wouldn't you believe it? Spoiler alert, it's now both of them. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a minute when we go to the Raw side. But yeah, it is kind of a little bit surprising. A lot of people thought Shane was going to be the one, but instead, no. So, yeah. Then eventually you got Roman Reigns, the champion, going against AJ Styles. Now, I'll tell you something. I thought for a minute AJ was actually going to get it. And here's the thing that upsets me. It's a no DQ match. And Roman tried to use the ropes. And they still did it. I'm amazed. Seriously. Well, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, first off, how WWE is treating Roman Reigns, it is sad. It really is that WWE is trying to use Roman as the guy, and the crowd's not buying it. You know, Vince, he's saying he's listening to his fans, but I think he's listening too much to the younger fan base, to the kids that are watching WWE. That's what I think he's listening to, and that's the wrong crowd. You gotta listen to the people who are booing more, who are chanting louder than the kids. You know, I get it, it's a PG show, but come on, at least talk to the people who really care about wrestling the most. Not the fanboys that are up to my waist or whatever, that are chanting John Cena and Roman Reigns and all the other faces of the company, and they boo the heels with crazy. I mean, these guys that are chanting louder, these are big wrestling fans. Hell, Bray Wyatt, he's a heel and all that stuff, but he knows how to wrestle. Kevin Owens the same for him. I can go on and on about some of the others too. Hell, Del Rio is the same way. But it's ridiculous to see for the fact that they are trying to do whatever they can to not have Roman Reigns get booed out of the building, but that needs to stop. First they edit the boos out, and they put in cheers, and then even the person with the sign said, you can't mute us. Our voices need to be heard. I don't blame them. It's ridiculous. And then they photoshopped one of the signs in the match. One of the wrestling things that I have on the Facebook page that I had seen said, when it rains, it pours, and then eventually they added signs saying, when it rains. And it really is sad that the guys from WWE really would do that. I mean, why? Just, I'm so, I'm just so disgusted, really. And, it just really disgusts me WWE would do this. If I had to tell WWE something, please, stop. Stop. You've never done stuff like this. Kevin Dunn, a shame on you. Shame on you, man. You really are starting to piss people off with this. I don't know where you're getting it. About trying to keep pushing Roman Reigns, especially to some that really hate his guts and shove people down its throats. It's not working. Please stop it. It just does not need to happen. Other than that, it's not a bad match. Although Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I'll tell you something, those two, really, really interesting. You always wonder, when is AJ going to team up with them? Or better yet, when is Finn going to come? Is Finn finally out of NXT? And he's going to join them? That's Finn mentioned too. We'll see on Monday. And everyone thought that was the sure sign. He's coming this week to Monday Night Raw. Not so fast. Nope. Not yet to Payback. So we go to Monday Night Raw. Now, Raw was a rather interesting story, as we'll keep it on this picture for here, just for the hell of it. Raw was rather interesting, kind of the aftermath of the event taking place. I will say, though, is that the Raw that took place for St. Louis after a nice All-State Arena, you kind of imagine, how would it go? And, it was the same stuff that happened, blah, blah, blah. Shane and Stephanie are celebrating and stuff. Ryback trolled hardcore with the CM Punk chants, and he did a CM Punk mock there, I forgot to mention. And, people got so into it there. Oh, good classy Ryback. That's a way to end your way with WWE there. But I will say, though, this is rather interesting to see that you really would try to get the opportunity to just troll the WWE Universe. Do it in Chicago. Do it in fashion. Because I'm telling you, you really will push their buttons. Oh, that was just interesting enough there. So, the only question I have with, who's winning championships and stuff, Why is The Miz the WWE Intercontinental Champion out of all? Ew, that just does not look good. Although, I like Maurice. I like her so much. Still, I don't see why Miz Intercontinental Champion. It just doesn't work. But whatever, Zack should have stayed with it. But now it's like Zack Ryder's just back to the bottom of the chain. He won the Intercontinental Championship. Next night on Raw, loses it, and it's just like a free fall, and it's like he's back to square one. Oh my god, please stop with this shit. Anyways, Shane and Stephanie celebrated, blah blah blah. Goldust and Tyler Breeze had a match. Wouldn't you believe it? Goldust won. Ha ha ha. Interesting. Then Cesaro and Kevin Owens had a #1 contenders match. That was an interesting match. New Day and Colin Cassidy went against the Vaudevillains and other stuff there. And then the New Day, addressed Edson Moore's injury, blah, blah, blah. Vaudevillains were there. Trolling hardcore. Primo and Epico, please. They're taking their time with the Puerto Rican stuff. Oh, when? Then Chris Jericho attacks Dean Ambrose by getting canceled thanks to Stephanie. Thank you so much. Ugh. Then you got the #1 contender for the United States Championship belt. Oh, Zack Ryder? Nope, Rusev. Gotcha. We're trolling hardcore. Ho, ho, ho. You thought. Oh, my goodness. And then. Ugh. And then, actually, I got to really witness this one really, really well. I missed a bunch of Raw, but I did get to see the main event, which was Roman Reigns and the Usos versus AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Luke Gallows. Interesting match there. I mean, this was a great idea. Have the big faces there. Have the big heels, minus AJ being a face, but okay. Please, WWE, please, get the Bullet faction going. Please, especially get Finn on there. Come on, we really want this badly. Oh, stop teasing us. Stop teasing us. Ugh. Although it was really good, though, even though AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows won the match. Man, that was crazy. You thought AJ was going to go heel by turning and trying to get Roman. Oh, that would have been good. Oh, but it didn't happen. And then the Usos tried to play a little spoiler there. Then AJ attacked them. And then Roman, well, that was something strong right there. Ugh. Although he made a powerbomb through the announce table. That was pretty dope. I'll admit that. That was pretty cool. I guarantee you they would have edited that booze out from people saying that Roman's looking strong again. Ugh. So let's put it this way. After those two big moments there with Payback and Raw, I get it, you're trying to make Roman look strong, but please, it's not working. WWE, please be smart. Stop with this nonsense. No one's buying it. No one is buying it. For the love of God, please be smart. Talk to your actual fans. The fans that are doing this. That is the problem. I get it, you're trying to get the kids all motivated and stuff, but it's just not working. That's what's hurting the company. Vince and Kevin don't need to be ashamed of themselves. It just needs to stop. Please, for the love of God. Oh! This is where at times people want Triple H in for WWE so bad. It's not even funny because of how well NXT's been. I mean, look what's happened in NXT. I mean, the only downside, you get Eva Marie and they're still nasty. Don't get me wrong, Eva Marie is hot, but she just can't wrestle to save life. All these boos. Look who you got. You got Carmella. You got Bayley. Even though I heard recently that she actually tore her MCL, I think. That is terrible news. I hope she gets a full recovery. That is sad, though. That's the last thing anyone needed to hear from the WWE Universe, because people wanted her to go to the main roster ASAP. Sadly, that may not happen now because of that, so that sucks. Then you got the awesome tag teams that's there, and then you got, well, originally they did have Apollo Crews, but he mainly got sent up to the main event. I just realized that, so I almost failed. Awesome! And then you got your awesome singles there, too. And it just, these guys are kicking ass at NXT. These guys are just unbelievable. At the end of the day, these guys really got to keep doing what they're doing, and one day they will get their opportunity. So, I will say this, though. Other than that, don't do the screw job ever again. especially for a Divas one. I get it, you want controversy and stuff, but just it ain't working in a PG. It's not. If you're gonna try to do something edgy on a PG, it ain't gonna work because these people are too sensitive. They aren't gonna do a thing. Please knock it off. Other than that, not bad. At least I got to see in my hometown of Chicago, Illinois. And I'm very happy for it. Although there could be a thing where I may go to WrestleMania this year in Orlando. I'm going to keep that as a side thing. Not going to confirm it or anything, but you never know. It could be. So until then, guys, the next big pay-per-view is Extreme Rules. I may do the SmackDown one for this week as well. You never know. So until then, I will see you guys later. And until then, peace. Get cleansed for the soul of the butthurt of the IWC masses. Come over to me. And this is the non-smarkiest, non-edgiest, best known WWE YouTuber known to man. The IWC Savior, folks, is back. And if you liked it, please click that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And share your comments. I'd love to see what you'd have. If it's smarky or not, I don't mind. Come on over. And we're near 22 minutes. Awesome. So until then, have a blessed day, guys. And get saved by hitting that subscribe button. I'm out, guys. See ya.